Good evening. On behalf of the Lenape Regional High School District and Seneca High School, welcome to the commencement exercises for the class of 2015. We would like to take this opportunity to recognize our teaching staff to my left and also on the field, as well as our retirees, Mr. Dave Lafferty, Mrs. Joanne Bennett, Mr. Matt Downing, and Mr. Tim Looney. Thank you for your hard work, your time, and tireless dedication to the students at Seneca High School. Thank you. I would also like to recognize members of our Board of Education and ask that you please stand to be recognized. From Tabernacle Township, Dr. Robert Bende. From Chemung Township, Ted Shinsky. And our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Carol Birnbaum. I would like to welcome our distinguished guests sitting to my right from our local municipalities, schools, and school boards. We appreciate all that you do in support of our students, our communities, and Seneca High School. Thank you. At this time, would everybody please stand as Seneca High School Air Force JROTC presents our colors and remain standing as the Seneca Singers sing our national anthem, followed by the alma mater.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that was still there. Oh, say was that spangled banner that wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Comes to rise o'er the peaks, the pines adorn, new day of learning. Behind classroom doors our eager young minds are filled with knowledge. Let us
Thank you. You may be seated. It gives me great pleasure to call up the class of 2015 Student Council President, Russell Bauer.
All situated here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Good evening, Dr. Birbaum, Mr. Spector, administration, classmates, family, friends, and faculty. Before I begin congratulating you, class of 2015, we must congratulate one other group present tonight, your parents. These are the people who have raised you since you were born. Please stand and give them a round of applause. Now, congratulations, class of 2015. We made it. It's an honor to be speaking here before you today, although it's kind of embarrassing we all showed up in the same clothes. Guys, green robes, girls, white robes, and all of us have the same accessory, a green and gold tassel. You would have thought that someone would have asked their friends what they were wearing, so we all weren't wearing the same robes and tassel. Seneca High School is a great place. We have amazing teachers, friendly students, and a killer drumline who psychs up the school before every football game by playing traffic jam in the halls at the end of the day. But as great as Seneca is your past now. It is my job as a commencement speaker to prepare you for what awaits you in the future. Here it is. No one has any idea of what's going to happen, but that's why I'm the perfect person to speak about this. For years, we have been perfecting going to school and doing well, fitting into that role as a student in the Seneca family. We all got so comfortable at Seneca, as a Bird's Nest fan, as a Sen fam member, but now it's time to spread our wings and leave the nest. It's time to say goodbye to the person we've become, the person we've perfected, and make some crucial decisions about the person who we are going to become. For me, I will have to figure out how to be a cadet at Virginia Tech. And for you all will have to learn how to cook ramen noodles. Now that we are all graduating, we need to set standards for ourselves. No longer will everything we do be graded. No one will be there to hold our hands through work. Over the years at Seneca Student Council, I have made my own standards for learning what events will work and what events may be controversial based off of your Twitter reactions. It is my own standards that kept me going even when the event was not popular. The nice part about having your own standards is that you are your own grader, so do yourself a favor. Be an easy grader. Give yourself a curve, give yourself extra credit. You have that power now. Now, as I stand here before you on Thursday, oh my goodness, I totally forgot it's Thursday. Thursday is the day when I, as student council president, take time to write thank you notes. And with all the events that have been going on today, I did not have any time to do that. You all wouldn't mind if I write a few now, would you? No? Okay, great. Thanks. This will only take a few minutes. Hold up. Gotta just set the tone here. All right, we got it going. We had it going. Here we go. Thank you, graduation, for being the happiest moment in a person's life and a boring 2 hours for the rest of us. Thank you, graduation, for having us dress up in our finest clothes, just to have a loose-fitting garbage sack thrown over them. Thank you, snow days, for making everyone happy, until we realized that we could have graduated last Friday. Thank you, 13th period study halls, for teasing everyone with a car who could go home, but instead has to wait another 47 minutes. Thank you, teachers who have morning classes, for expecting us to be quiet because we're still half asleep. Afternoon teachers, clock. Thank you, teachers who, when I ask if I can go to the bathroom, respond, "I don't know. Can you?" Because a little self-assurance is always needed. Thank you, Major Hoggs, Sergeant Brooks, Mr. Abate, Mr. Watson, Mr. Connect, Mr. Castle, Mr. Seeley, Miss Stapleford, Miss Hoy, Miss Johnson, Mrs. McMichael, Miss Russo, and Miss Den, for all of your guidance and help over the years. Had it not been for you all, I would not be the person standing in front of you today. Thank you, Tabernacle Rescue Squad, Tabernacle Fire Company, and the New Jersey State Police Red Lion Barracks for helping keep Seneca safe for all students. Here we go. And finally, thank you to my mother and father for always encouraging me and pushing me to do the best that I possibly can, and then some. And my fellow brother and fellow Hokie, David, for being the role model who everyone wants to be in life. I love you all very much. Once again, congratulations, class of 2000. Oh, geez. Once again, congratulations, class of 2015. We made it.
The salutatorian for the class of 2015, Julie Horner.
First, I want to thank all of you for an amazing 4 years that wouldn't have been as great as they were if it wasn't for our teachers, support staff, administrators, our families, and most of all, each other. There aren't any words to describe our class, because if there is one thing I know, is that we are so unlike than any other class to come through Seneca. So what I decided to do was to start at the beginning. High school has been quite a climb. We walked through Seneca the first time, maps in hand, blindly walking around the huge school with no idea where to go. Almost all of us at some point that year walked into the wrong class or forgot whether we were on the first or second floor. But we persevered and eventually found our classes, meeting so many new faces along the way, and figured out that E-Hall really does exist. 3 years ago, we walked back through the same doors, only this time we were excited to no longer be the new kids. At this point in our high school career, we found our friends that we would have throughout high school. And as we gained confidence and ventured outside our comfort zones, we searched to find ourselves and who we really were. 2 years ago, we walked back in, finally as the big kids in the school. This was the year that everything felt so steady, yet changed so much. As we got older, our classes also got harder, and even college was first talked about, but still seemed too far away to be real. We got our licenses and felt the freedom of being able to go almost wherever we wanted, whenever we wanted. 1 year ago, we walked through Seneca's doors without fully realizing that this would be our last time. We were too caught up in schoolwork or applying to colleges to realize that our time in high school was quickly passing by. The hall was no longer huge and intimidating, but instead seemed too small for our aspirations. And this past week was when it finally hit us. Although we made such a close-knit family here, like all families, there's a time when the birds need to leave the nest. And whether we are about to embark on a new job, enter the military, or attend college next year, one thing I'm sure of is that this class will be the ones to push boundaries. We will break some rules, but we will make our own at the same time. There will be obstacles in our way, but if there's one thing high school has taught us, it's that there's always going to be another mountain, you're always going to want to make it move, there's always going to be an uphill battle, sometimes you're going to have to lose. Ain't about how fast we get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Congratulations, class of 2015. We made it.
Senior Class President, Justin Williams.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the class of 2015 graduation. To the friends and families who are in attendance tonight, my fellow classmates and I appreciate all the dedication and commitment you have shown for not only our school, but for all of us throughout our high school careers. Graduates of the class of 2015, it has been extremely rewarding serving you as your class president these last 2 years. Every event that took place was thanks to the hard work of your student government representatives, who dedicated a tremendous amount of time helping to ensure all the events were very special. To Ms. Betts and Mr. Repture, I want you to know that who this class is today would not have been the same without advisors like you guys guiding us along the way. As we embark onto this next phase of life, it is with great pride that we should look back over our time at Seneca. Some of our fondest memories were here, such as JDD and senior prom, where everyone had a fantastic time. Seneca's first ever badminton tournament was created by the class of 2015. The float that student government built during this past year's Turkey Bowl, where we all dressed up as Discovery Channel characters and danced our lights out. And the greatest of all reflections we shall look back on one day is our senior trip to Disney, where any Seneca student would pass another, and it would be like seeing your brothers and sisters. As we leave here tonight, we should all remember that the love of family and the admiration of friends is much more important than wealth and privilege. These words written by Charles Kuralt are very powerful. Please take from this that no matter how great every one of you will become today, your roots will always be here at Seneca High School. Seneca High School, on behalf of the class of 2015, I thank you and wish everyone inside the walls of this school and all those that will pass through after us the best of luck with all of your future endeavors.
The class of 2015 valedictorian, Kaylee Talbot.
Today is one of the most important days of our lives. My 18th birthday. No, I'm only kidding. Today is about all of us, the graduates of the class of 2015, and the 4 years that we've spent here. 4 years. More than a fifth of our lives, the same amount of time it takes to learn to walk and talk, we've spent in Seneca. And after today, that niche that we found, the habits we've formed, the school and family that we've molded over the last 1,460 days will be gone. And here comes the part where we act like we know what we're doing, but we really don't have a clue. Most of us will probably stumble until we stumble into another niche where we feel comfortable. And my hope is that I will leave you with a few messages in your head so that when you are stumbling and falling, scraping your knees, you'll be able to pick yourself up just a little bit easier and fight to keep going just a little bit harder. Every time I get stuck or have to make a decision, there's this vision that runs through my mind. I think about the 85-year-old me looking back on my life, and I ask her, what do I want to be able to say I did? What do I want to be able to say I chose? Taylor Swift actually has a similar philosophy. She said, live your life like you're 80 looking back on your teenager years. You know, if your dad calls you at 8 in the morning and asks if you want to go out for breakfast, as a teenager, you're like, no, I want to sleep. But as an 80-year-old looking back, you have that breakfast with your dad. It's just little things like that that helped me when I was a teenager in terms of making choices I wouldn't regret. I figure if I have the same philosophy as T. Swift, I might be doing something right. And while I would love to stand here and encourage all of you to make choices that would make your 85-year-old self proud, I know that's not really realistic. You aren't going to adopt my or T. Swift's philosophy because you are your own person. And that's a beautiful thing. However, I would like to stress the importance of every once in a while looking at things from a different perspective. You know, I saw a story on social media a couple weeks ago that spoke of a writer from the New York Times who interviewed a series of people who had survived jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. I know, dark, right? But while their stories were different, they all had something in common. Each person interviewed said that about 2/3 the way down, they realized that every seemingly meaningless problem that caused them to jump was fixable. Every single one. And so I pray that none of you come to that point where you look back on the past and realize there was more you could have done, that you could have made a better decision or have led a better life. Live your life so that you may leave this world fulfilled and with as little regret as possible. Growing up, I always heard my grandfather say, "Never stop learning." I thought he meant to do well in school so you could grow up to be smart and versatile. And maybe he did, but I've adopted my own version of it. And even though I'm standing before you today because of my GPA, it's really not the textbook knowledge I value. It's the experience. Over the years, as I thought about myself and those around me, I realized how trapped we all are. And we don't see it because, like any good trap, it's hard to tell that it's there. Now, I'm not talking about a person trapping us or an institution giving us faulty information. I'm talking about ourselves, being confined to the walls of our own heads. We can only see the world from our eyes. We can only make decisions based off the limited experiences we have. And it's difficult to consider anything else because, well, we don't know what we don't know. And I thought about the untapped potential, the unrealized dreams, the unthought thoughts that lie underneath the surface. And I know some of you may be thinking, no, I know who I am. I know what I want, and I can probably guess where my life's going to end up. But that's exactly what I'm saying. You don't know. You can't know. It's virtually impossible to know what you could be, what you could do. And the only way to find out is to give in, to learn and grow and experience, to try and fail and succeed, and love and live. My friends, it's about perspective. It's about knowing that there's so much in this world that we don't know, that's waiting for us to explore. And if you're content to settle at any point in your life for what you have, that's okay. I wish you the best of luck. But just know there could be so much more. You could be so much more. And for those of you asking, well, what about circumstance? What about people and situations that we can't change? They make things pretty difficult. Well, yeah, they do. But that doesn't mean there isn't a way around it. I went to a medical conference back in November, and I thought I'd learn a bunch about science and cutting-edge surgeries. But the most important thing I learned was about perseverance. At this conference, they had multiple brilliant teens who won the global science. The ones who you look at and go, wow, what am I doing with my life? We often think of these kinds of people as 1 in a million, geniuses who probably stayed home studying and got really lucky with opportunities. As I listened to their stories, I realized this wasn't the case. In my head, I thought, wow, they found a lab willing to help out a 16-year-old. That's a slim chance. But it wasn't chance. Each person told the story of how they emailed over 200 different labs and researchers. And of those 200, 199 said no. But one said yes. And all they needed was that one. That's how a 17-year-old discovered a simpler, faster way to detect breast cancer, or how a 16-year-old boy created a machine to detect liver cancer for less than $1. Because even after over 150 labs said no, they kept going. They kept trying. Now, you don't have to go out and change the world, but you can still do amazing things with your lives. Just because something may be difficult doesn't mean it's impossible. I promise you it's not. There are ways. And also, there are people to help you where you don't expect it. You'd be surprised how many people care. And while many people love the family at Seneca, my favorite part was finding these hidden gems, teachers and faculty who cared about students outside of the classrooms and walls of the school. I had more than one teacher who did everything in their power to help a student succeed or accomplish a goal. Like Miss Johnson, who's never faltered in her support and who has guided me to where I am today. Or Miss Den, who taught me that a happy life starts with a positive outlook. Mr. Bowden, who, when he hardly knew me, happily spent half his day working with me on a project. Oh, and because I know he's waiting for it, I'd like to thank Mr. Panarella, who helped me with essays and basically anything else I needed, even if he was already busy. For those of you who missed those teachers or those opportunities, I encourage you to keep digging in the future to find those precious gems. I promise they exist. And I know I'm a talkative person, downfall of a Gemini. So in the interest of moving on to better things, like throwing our hats in the air and getting to those graduation parties, I will start to close. Please don't be content. Never think that your path has been predetermined or that there's something you can't do. I know you've heard it before, but I'm asking you to think about it once more with a fresh look. It's not about the difficulty that lies ahead. It's about the strength and the drive within you. It's not about what's stopping you. It's about if you're going to stop yourself. Don't stop yourself. Don't give yourself less than you deserve. And don't just survive. Live. I'd like to end with a quote from one of our most inspirational role models, Miss Katie Heron from Mean Girls. Although this was the answer to the final round of a math competition, the phrase also attests to our capabilities and the possibilities that await us. As we venture into the future, remember, the limit does not exist. Thank you and congratulations, class of 2015. We did it!
Now to recognize the top 10% for the class of 2015, junior class officers Sarah Morris and Trevor Barton.
When your name is called, please stand and remain standing until all names have been read. Adam Joseph Argentine. Lauren N. Bogardus. Casey C. Brockett. Josephine Patricia Bennell. Amy Lee Burke. Patrick W. Chizek. Samuel Dion. Adam F. Felcher. Matthew T. Fillion. Connor T. Ford. Nathan Lars Folk. Nicole A. Fullerton. Joseph M. Hackney. Mitchell Eric Hay. Jessica Hoban. Kirsten Danielle Horn. Julie Ann Horner.
Rachel Jankowski. Colleen Mary Kazokis. Riley Sean Lovett. Jason Magipinto. Catherine Teresa Mancini. Devin N. Matson. Brandon A. Millenhausen. Catherine O'Brien. Carly Patton. Ashley Morgan Peoples. Erica A. Rager. Emily C. Randolph. Lauren Grace Sander. Emily F. Shackle. Justin Edward Snodgrass. Kaylee A. Talbot. Catherine M. Tetrold. Ladies and gentlemen, the Seneca High School class of 2015 top 10%. You may be seated.
Seneca High School puts an emphasis on the importance of regular attendance in terms of academic and career success. There are 2 students in the Seneca High School class of 2015 that achieved the accomplishment of perfect attendance during their 4 years. This accomplishment is very rare and singular one and deserves the highest of plaudits. It is with great pride and satisfaction that I commend the following students for perfect attendance during their 4-year matriculation at Seneca High School. Would the following students please come forward? Sarah M. Eller. And Connor T. Ford. At this time, we would like to recognize all of the senior scholarship winners. Scholarships are awarded during our academic awards ceremony. All students that received a scholarship were given a pin to wear on their graduation gown. Please refer to your program for a list of those scholarship winners. I would now ask that all seniors that received a scholarship to please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time in the ceremony, we would like to acknowledge those who give their time and service to represent our country in the military. We ask that anyone who has served or is currently serving in our country in any branch of the military to please stand at this time to be recognized. Please remain standing. Please remain standing as we also ask any graduate that is going on to any branch of the military to please stand and join your brothers and sisters in the military at this time. We thank you all for your selfless act to serve our country. Thank you. You may be seated. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the principal of Seneca High School, Mr. Jeff Spector.
Let me begin. He didn't introduce himself. The person that's emceeing this evening is our athletic director and assistant principal in charge of student activities, and that's Mr. Brad Bauer. Thanks, Brad. Members of the Board of Education, Dr. Birnbaum, Mrs. Pasercia, parents, colleagues, honored guests, and most importantly, the class of 2015, good evening. Let me begin by saying it is an honor to be the principal of Seneca High School. I get to work for an amazing school district with an equally as amazing and supportive Board of Education and Central Office Administration. We have communities that value education and are built on the core values of volunteerism and civic responsibility. I work with a teaching staff and support staff that is second to none, and most importantly, I spend every day with 1,200 of the most incredible group of young people anywhere. As principal of this great school, I know tonight we do not just recognize the class of 2015, we also recognize the true meaning of family and celebrate its virtues. We recognize the Seneca family and the Seneca community, and we get the opportunity to share out loud how proud we are of the class of 2015. Tonight will be the 8th time I address a graduating class from Seneca High School. In writing these speeches, I've taken the opportunity to share a principal's reflection of that year's class. I have used the movie Up, the novel Hunger Games, Dr. Seuss, and even the Phillies, which might not be such a good idea this year, to talk about the graduating class. They did win today. In preparing for my few words this year, it dawned on me, why not to try and give a speech from a different perspective? So I stole a speech. Actually, 3 speeches. 3 of our staff members here at Seneca, Bonnie Horner, Erica Myra, and Kathy Donahue, have given speeches that have inspired me. They inspired me not just because they are awesome staff members, which they are, but also because they gave those speeches when their own senior child was sitting in the audience. So class of 2015, tonight's speech is intended to inspire you not from what I have to say, but what I believe your parents might be saying if they were here standing in my place. Before I begin, I do want to thank both the parent and teacher in Kathy, Bonnie, and Erica for allowing me to share their words and a few of my own with you. Somewhere, there's a picture of you waiting for a school bus that first day of kindergarten. Maybe a grandparent or two was there. You had a backpack on that was bigger than you, and everyone waited around for the bus. The bus that was 20 minutes late because it was the first day of kindergarten, and at every bus stop the same ritual was taking place. We thought your journey would never begin, and then we heard the roar of the bus. We were excited. Here comes the bus, we kept repeating. The bus stopped, and you cautiously walked on. You went and sat down, and we were waving frantically. And then you disappeared. You were too short to look over the window, and we could no longer see you. We gasped as the bus pulled away, and we were a little scared, but we thought you were on to amazing things. Very soon thereafter, we realized this was the beginning of your independence, responsibility, and decision-making. From the day you sat down and disappeared in that bus until graduation day today, our goal was the same, to help you navigate this path towards independence. So we did what all parents do. We parented. And well, you didn't always like it. We nagged you. But when we nagged, we didn't mean to nag or be annoying. It was just our well-intended advice. We yelled at you. But when we yelled things like clean your room or empty the dishwasher, it is our way to say be organized and tackle the task you were assigned. We asked you to call your grandparent or your aunt. This is just our way of telling you to acknowledge the people that you love. And we asked you to be a good brother and sister. That was just our way of saying be a good role model. Your brother and sister are always watching. We said be careful. Just our way of saying be safe. We need you to come back to us. And we always felt and said we are proud of you. And when we say it tonight, we were letting you know you have grown exactly into the person we hoped you would be when we put you on that bus 13 years ago. I guess you're figuring that graduation is the end of our parenting, our nagging, yelling, worrying, and being proud. Well, I have some news for you. We don't. And we never will. You can be confident we will continue to nag, yell, and be proud, and if possible, all at the same moment. Now, we know tonight is bittersweet. It is a combination of feeling elated to finish with the uncertainty of what the future holds. As you think about the significance of tonight, you may remember the people who have brought you to this point and the people you will encounter in the future to help you along the way. Ultimately, you will make the choices that mold your life. Our wish for you is to have the ability to overcome adversity, find your happiness, focus on your strengths, be true to yourself, and make your corner of the world the best it can be. So as I mentioned earlier, our teacher parents inspired this speech. In the speech I borrowed from Mrs. Donahue, she spoke of a book, Life's Little Instruction Book, a very short book a father wrote before his son went off to college. It's a collection of thoughts and words of counsel that he hoped his son would find useful. Things like, know how to drive a stick shift, or always accept a breath mint if someone offers it. So Miss Donahue picked 10 to share. She gave this speech, as Miss Myra and Miss Horner did, as their son or daughter were sitting in the audience. I think her choice is the same advice any of us sitting here would give you. So for you, Fred and Megan and Madison and Julia and Justin, over there in the front row, and Jessica and Julie, and Jody and Robin and Dina, and all of you, here it goes. Smile a lot. It costs nothing and is beyond the price. Remember that great love and great achievement involve great risk. Be brave, even if you're not. Watch your attitude. It's the first thing people notice about you. Compliment 3 people every day. Don't burn bridges. You'll be surprised how many times you have to cross the same river. Don't believe everything you hear. Spend all you have or sleep all you want. I'm still working on that one. Do the right thing regardless of what others think. Spend your life putting people up, not putting people down. And maybe the most important one tonight, no matter how old you get, hug and kiss your parents whenever you greet them. The list goes on, and I'm sure every parent has his or her own quotes and words of wisdom to pass on. So listen to one another. Really listen. And know that your parents only want the best for you. Their 2 cents is their way to say, you are worth $1 million. Thank you to Kathy, Bonnie, and Erica for allowing me to use your words in the speech this evening. I am honored to work with people who inspire me every day. Thank you, parents, for allowing us to be part of your child's life. It is the values you instill that make the Seneca family the Seneca family. To the class of 2015, I feel so lucky to have had the opportunity to work with you and to know you. You are smart, talented, funny, generous, loyal, caring, and good. You have persevered in your studies, in your extracurricular activities, and your social life. You are awesome. You inspire me and everyone at Seneca to be better people. When I look at you, I am so proud, and I know your parents are too. It has truly been my honor to serve you as principal. Thank you.
Good evening to the parents, families, friends, coaches, and mentors who join us to celebrate the commencement graduation ceremony for the Seneca High School class of 2015. And most importantly, good evening, graduates. In addition to your family members, a high school graduation ceremony is a time when community leaders, Board of Education members, administrators, and teachers from your elementary, middle school, and high school come together to celebrate this important milestone. And with their support, it makes the Lenape Regional High School District among the very best in the state. Graduates, I know that I am the last speaker between you and your diplomas. I am determined to demonstrate Franklin Roosevelt's advice to his son about public speaking. Be sincere, be brief, be seated. Each school year is marked by events which become a part of the individual and collective memories of that year's graduating class. The images reflected when looking at this class of graduates are those of resiliency of the human spirit, commitment to each other and community, and that of achievement. You may humbly credit those around you, the family, or your teachers for your accomplishments. And while I recognize you have had the very best teachers here at Seneca, I am quick to point out that you are what makes Seneca special. Because it was your hard work, perseverance, and service to others that is helping Seneca build its own tradition of excellence. Graduates, we couldn't have been any more prouder of all of your efforts this year. And it is my hope that your images of determination, success, and volunteerism are the ones that you will carry with you as you graduate and embark on future endeavors. Your future career depends on your perseverance, but remember to continue your volunteerism and service to others, because your eventual job will be what you do and not who you are. And who you are many things, and one of those things is a Golden Eagle. Now, in my official capacity as the superintendent of the Lenape Regional High School District, I hereby certify to the Lenape Regional High School District Board of Education that the collected members of the senior class of 2015 have fulfilled all their requirements prescribed by the state of New Jersey and our Board of Education. Further, that they have at this time earned the right to be awarded a Seneca High School diploma. Board of Education members, Mr. Shinsky and Dr. Bendy, it is my honor to present to you the members of the Seneca High School class of 2015. Good luck and congratulations, graduates.
At this time, I would like to invite up our senior class advisors, Ms. Tracy Betts and Mr. Chris Repsher, to introduce the graduating class of Seneca High School 2015. Yep, come on down.
Graduates, what an amazing 4 years. We still remember you as little freshmen, and it has been enjoyable to watch you grow into the fine young men and women you are today. We are so proud. As Ursula Le Guin said, it is great to have an end to journey toward, but it's the journey that matters in the end. We hope your senior year has been filled with great memories and that you have truly enjoyed the journey. We wish you the best, and it gives us great pleasure to present the Seneca High School graduating class of 2015.
Justin Tyler Williams.
Eugene Russell Ingrayo.
Joseph Michael Hackney.
Casey Christine Brockett.
Morgan Andrus Saya.
Kaylee Alexandra Irian Talbot.
Julie Horner.
Russell Arno Bauer III.
Justin P. Dixon.
Justin Edward Snodgrass.
Kimberly M. Alcott. Phoebe Therese Altum. Brittany Starr Always. Nicole Alexis Always. Nicole Alexandra Andrews. Victoria Rose Ballinger. Kimberly Lynn Barbour. Melissa Ann Bergdahl. Cheyenne Black. Vanessa Jane Blum. Lauren Nicole Bogardus. Haley Diane Bacot. Kaylee Elizabeth Bowman. Melissa J. Boyle. Angel A. Bratton. Sinead Nicole Brennan. Megan Jean Breslin. Brianna Jean Briscoe. Taylor Elizabeth Broderick. Kaylin Avery Bryan. Shannon M. Bryant. Josephine P. Bennell.
Quincy O. Abrams. Tristan Ahern. Adam Argentine. Andrew Arnold. Wesley Mark Baranowski. Kevin Lee Barber. Connor Blessy. Nicholas Brian Baudelaire. Cole Daniel Bowman. Dylan Brown. Michael John Brown. Jonathan D. Bruner. Nicholas Bush. Linwood Vaughn Butler. Nathan F. Butler. Dennis Oran Carroll. Caleb David Carter. Charles Castillo. Patrick W. Chizek. Joshua Chung. Clayton J.T. Cooper. Bradley Alexander Cutts.
Cheyenne Lynn Berger. Amy Lynn Burke. Carly Ann Butella. Shayna Lee Campbell. Morgan Elizabeth Cashwell. Nicolette Lynn Catalano. Alexa Marie Chalupka. Emma Cassidy Chambers. Madison Brooke Chant. Kira C. Chakoris. Sierra Marie Cooper. Haley Ray Cooper. Madison Critchfield. Shelby Keene Croft. Brianna D'Amico. Emily Jacqueline Doria. Brittany Marie Deal. Rebecca Lynn Dean. Gianna Decker. Angela C. DeClerc. Kristen E. DePalma. Carly Danya.
Xavier K. Zepiel. Tyler Hayes Davis. Alexander T. Delmonica. Justin Michael Dembski. Nicholas DeSantis. Aaron T. Diamond. Samuel Thomas Dion. Antoine Antonio Edwards. Eric Douglas Ent. Jarrett James Evans. Christopher E. Fanicone. Adam F. Felcher. William I. Fenrick. Matthew Tucker Fillion. Zane D. Finnerty. Connor T. Ford. Nathan Lars Folk. Devin James Gilbert. Edward J. Gillen III. Brian Grady. Kevin Robert Gray. Clement Green.
Megan Michelle Drum. Ashley Nicole Edge. Sarah M. Eller. Brianna Nicole Feaster. Julia Renee Ferranti. Lauren Christina Frake. Nicole Ann Fullerton. Jarissa Galindo. Got you. Samantha E. Gangle. Nicole L. Gardner. Allison N. Gazarowski. Haley Elizabeth Graham. Emma Grant. Rebecca Lynn Grader. Charlie Ann Greco. Julia Nicole Green. Brittany Nicole Guerin. Erin Hatley. Victoria Hendrickson. Carolee Anne-Marie Hines. Jessica Hoban. Lauren Nicole Hodgson.
Christopher James Grexa. Ian B. Hasty. Dylan Hathaway. Mitchell Eric Hay. Frederick W. Hess. Alexander M. Hill. Eric D. Hill. Najir Zaki Hollingshed. Scott Patrick Huda. Zachary Humphrey. Hunter Townsend Ingling. Justin Ingling. Jason Irick. Alexander Ivans. Alexander Jakovasic. Todd Jarecki. Tyler Jennings. Dean D. Johnvin. Apostolos Carnavas. Jarrett Thomas Kennedy. Sean Anderson Kennedy. Connor J. Klein.
Kirsten D. Horn. Regina D. Iazzi. Kimberly Irons. Leah Jackson. Rachel Jankowski. Julia Lucille Jordan. Alyssa Kelly Karpiak.
Careful, Rachel. I saw that.
Colleen Mary Anastasia Kazokis. Amanda G. Kelly. Casey Lee Kettler. Saw him. Caitlin Labella. Allie Lambert. Kimberly Renee Laporte. Kirsten Lynn Laporte. Haley Noel Lewandowski. Emily Light. Robin A. Locatelli. Morgan Mary Lubner. Jessica Lynn Mackey. Kira Casey Malone. Catherine Teresa Mancini. Nina Otelia Marquise.
Joseph Kinect III. Jack Levy. Jacob Joseph Limpert. Zachary Adam Lindsay. Riley Sean Lovett. Evan Lynch. Matthew James Lynch. Evan L. McDougall. Hunter S. Maynor. Jason Thomas Magipinto. Cody James Mangold. Charles McCardle. Aiden C. McDaniel. Joseph E. McKnight. Garrett Maynard. Kevin Michael. Brandon Allen Millinghausen. Peter George Moody. Chad D. Moore. Stephen D. Moore. Jonah D. Matthew Moran.
Anna Brooke Marshall. Devin Noel Matson. Mackenzie Aaron McClone. Jessica Meeks. Amanda Emily Miller. Kelsey Lynn Miller. Tony Marie Mongo. Amanda Morton. Shannon Renee Mozaitis. Shay Amelia Muller. Brittany Nicole Noggle. Olivia Ashley Needleman. Catherine O'Brien. Carly Marie Patton. Ashley Peoples. Alyssa Marie Pernici. Brooke Lynn Patagno. Gianna Marie Patagno. Shannon Christine Patagno. Faith Teresa Petrowski.
Michael P. Morris. Michael J. Mulvihill. Daniel Andrew Nesco Jr. Ryan John Newman. Liam Anthony O'Connor. David Parsons. Jack Padano. Javier Perez. John Hunter Piper. Thomas Theodore Pollock. Gabriel T. Rangel. Ian James Radigan. Brian M. Wren. Peter J. Richkus IV. Matthew Rivera. Richard Tyler Robbins. John William Rudolph. Zachary James Shover. Brandon Sidlecki. Dante Giovanni Soda. Carl J. Starr. Christopher Steib.
Alana Marie Poland. Erica Angela Rager. Emily Carolyn Randolph. Lauren Nicole Riccio. Tiffany Veronica Roach. Ruben Alex Roberts. Rachel Adrian Rutterow. Lauren Grace Sander. Jody Lee Shower. Madison Lane Schulte. Mackenzie L. Schultz. Courtney Nicole Schwartz. Mahala Grace Scott. Emily Frances Shackle. Sydney Sott. Felicia Maria Angela Spraccio. Autumn Diane Stewart. Catherine Elizabeth Swope. Catherine Marianne Tetrolt. Lauren Marie Tossi.
Nicholas F. Stott. Carl Lawrence Straw. Cody J. Sutton. Marco J. Tanzella. Jack Tarasevich. Ian John Thomas. Jeffrey Robert Turner Jr. Kyle Christopher Umbahauer. Joseph Bradley Warren II. Austin Wilkes. Jason Shane Willits. Jeffrey Brian Wills Jr. Justin Andrew Wright.
Sahara Rain Voira. Marissa Angeline Walker. Madison Rose Welch. Amy Ellen Wells. Michaela Elizabeth Wegner. Brittany A. Winkowski. Daria LaJoy Zuki.
Seniors, please stand. Please join me in my last duty as your senior class president. Please take your tassel with your left hand and move it from the right to the left. Congratulations, class 2015, we did it! Woo-hoo!